Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition with Accent Consult. Today, this is brought to you, of course, by Accent Consult, and we are going to be looking at something that kills a number of businesses. We reckon that many of you will be at the phase where you're planning for the new year and you are looking at how you can do things better in that business, and that's why we are also motivated to share this conversation with you today. So the topic we are looking at today is a very interesting one. It's something that is practical, is relatable to many entrepreneurs out there, and here is it: how you can build a profitable business without burning out. How you can build a profitable business without burning out. Let me tell you a story to start with. Many years ago, I left paid employment, and for me, it was really about ensuring that I don't also wear out or I don't burn out. And that was because as a fresh guy from the school, I had thought to myself that, man, so now I'm going to be working, I'm going to be making money, and I had also thought that law was, it happened to just be something I would love to do. So each time, for me, Monday was my best day of the week, and Friday was the sad day of the week for me. So when people talk about TGIF, thank God it's Friday, what comes to my mind is, guys, these guys are just lazy folks. But over the months, as the months became years, years down the line, I started joining the folks, singing and being happy about the TGIF thing. And why was that the case? Because I was beginning to wear out. I was beginning to also think, looking forward to weekend when I can have time for other things and hopefully rest, see family. This was the reality, especially because, I have been in Lagos, and those of you listening from Lagos might be able to appreciate this conversation that we are having. Now, take all this story forward, fast forward the story. This was one of those things that inspired me to start out as an entrepreneur. So for me, I thought that, so once I set out, I would have more flexibility, I would make more money. I thought entrepreneurship was synonymous with freedom. And then I jumped at it, took a deep dive, and only to realize that, man, this is another thing entirely. This is hard work. And why was it hard work? So now I have to think for myself, I have to fend for myself, I have to find every means to make ends meet, and I had to just keep building the client base. And the more the clients increased, the more I knew that there was a need to bring in people. So for me, gradually I started getting worn out, and then I thought of, okay, maybe when I bring somebody in, this freedom that made me to get into entrepreneurship, I'm going to have it. Brought somebody in and found that I had to still keep getting my job done, in addition to holding my colleague by the hands to get the job done. So really, it was like a double load on upon me, which I really didn't have a choice but to focus on and find solution for. So this might also be your reality. You may be on the spot at this point, which is why I have to say from onset, what we are discussing is something very practical, is something very relatable, is something that you might have experienced, you are experiencing, or you need to prepare to experience and handle the right way. So people wear out, the business might look profitable, but people wear out because of a number of challenges, some of which we are going to be identifying in today's conversation. So I saw that there was more to it. I saw that the solution wasn't for me to increase the number of team members that are on the job with me. I saw that there was really more to be done to get the desired results that would make the business to be profitable and would ensure that I do not wear out. And these are things that we want to talk about today. So we've been able to debunk something. It is not getting more people on the job that leads to the solution. the more people you have, the more burden you have to carry. In addition to ensuring that allowances and salaries are paid, you might just find yourself having to monitor them and ensure that they are able to deliver on the jobs that clients are paying you for. And what's more, even some of these clients will still say, well, they want you, it has to be you to get the job done. Whether it's a product line or a service line, they just would say, so let's say you run a dry cleaning business and then the client is like, no, 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 I don't trust any other person to do this. And these are things that happen. So for instance, I sometimes take a walk with my baby boy, and we have this lovely place where we barb our hair, and I would not allow any other person to barb for me except the person that owns the business. And so these are realities with clients as well, and I'm sure that they are relatable to you as well. So it's a deeper thing. There has to be more that can help you to close your eyes so that you're not like me, being overwhelmed the way I was at the material time, and so that at the end of the day you are able to have a structure that is indeed profitable to you in what you are doing. So the first thing, now I'm trying to break this down as possible, as much as possible. The first thing you need to realize is that getting results in your business is about systems, it's about process, and there are flows or there are sequences that can give you the same results if those sequences are followed exactly the way you do it. So I would use the example again of a dry cleaner. There has to be a flow that makes that dry cleaner to get the results that the client loves paying for over and again. The mistake with many entrepreneurs, why it looks like we are overwhelmed and we cannot close our eyes and be away from the workplace and the business goes on, is because we've not been able to master putting down our workflow and ensuring that those things are mastered by the people that are within the same business or within the company with us, and helping them to get exact same results that we get when we are the ones taking the lead. So I'll give another example here. I have an eatery that used to be my favorite eatery. So I say used to be because also these days I haven't been doing too much of that. But yes, I used to have one, and I loved one of their recipes so much, and that's always what I look forward to buying each time I visit that eatery. So they have a branch on the mainland, they have a branch on the island, and for me, each time I visit either of these, I realize that their recipe just tastes exactly the same. And so what was on my mind at that time was, is it possible that these folks have a central kitchen where they dish all the meals, and then there are trailers, there are means of transport that moves this meal to their different branches? But really, it wasn't the case. The point is they've been able to master a sequence that helps them to achieve the same results. As a Yoruba boy, I grew up with this impression, and I think there's a proverb for it as well, the impression that it is the hand that is holding the ladle that determines how sweet the food will be. I don't know if you're in that kind of situation, or you're in that category, or like someone very close to me would say that there's a kind of pot you use to cook jollof rice. If you want it to have a kind of taste, well, that might be might be the truth. It doesn't refer to the hand, but it refers to a process. So it means if that is true, go get the same pot and get the same results. So this whole thing just very interesting for you, that you can pick and you can run with. If you are able to identify the flow, the process, how you do what and what you do at what point, what time, what phase, how you are able to identify all of this and connect the dots would determine the extent that you will be able to remove yourself, bring in people, and expect them to achieve the same results you would have achieved if you were to be at the forefront, taking the lead on that job. So you should identify every of your products. You should look at how do you get results for each line of products. You should have all of these things put together somewhere. And here's a creative thing you can do. You can even create an email account for that single purpose of archiving your process flow on how you get results, such that each time, even if a staff should leave and a new staff should come in, you already have a process flow for what you do, and that new staff can pick up from there, understanding the process flow that has been handed over to him or her, and then get exactly the same result. This is how you build a staff, a team that is strong enough to run the race. There has to be something they are able to read and say, yes, having read this, I now understand how to get results. There has to be something they're able to run with. And this is also how you ensure that you have an automated system or a quasi-automated system, not necessarily an automated one, but some of these things, you can have all of these templates automated using many devices as well. Because of our time, I won't be able to, suggest some of these devices, but you should really dig them out. You should search for devices that eases you up, allows you to automate some of your processes. For instance, you can be using Google Calendar to automate some reminders as well. A lot of things can be done. You just need to discover the right technology and also put in place the understanding of the sequence of how you get results. And these are things that would then make a whole lot of sense in helping you to be profitable, because the moment if you get this right, it means you don't have to spend too much of your time holding people by the hands from the elementary level and building capacity in people. Time is money. Even the money part, you would not have to also spend too much having to send people to go and learn new things all again, all over, because you would have put this content, the sequence flow, you'd have put everything in place in such a way that anybody can pick and run with the race. So it's quite a whole lot, and I would just want to refer you to Structure Secrets, right? You should get your copy of this book. This book, it delves into what we are saying today and many other things that would make you profitable. So why not get your copy of Structure Secrets for startups, and ensure that you plan ahead for the new year. Go into that new year, go into it with big capacity. December, get this book, digest the book. 90% of our readers have had to call us back to say, look, this book has to get to the hands of every Nigerian doing business out there. And it's from the abundance of some of the ideas in that book that I just shared what I shared with you. So I hope you find it interesting, and thank you for joining today's conversation. We look forward to hosting you again, of course, same time, same station, tomorrow again, and every day. Okay, so remember, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Remember to ensure that you follow us. Thank you once again, and do have for yourself a wonderful, wonderful